Welcome to Sri Ramanar Ashramam, Thiruvannamalai. Sri Ramanar Ashramam, also known as Sri Ramanar Ashramam, is the ashram which was home to modern sage and Advaita Vedanta master Ramana Maharishi from 1922 until his death in 1950. It is situated at the foot of Arunachala Hill to the west of Thiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, where thousands of seekers flock to be in his presence. His Samadhi shrine continues to attract devotees from all over the world. The ashram gradually grew in its present location after Ramana Maharishi settled near the Samadhi shrine of his mother Alagammal, who died on 19 May 1922. In the beginning, a single small hut was built there. By 1924, two huts were set up, one opposite to the Samadhi and one to the north. Among its early Western visitors were British writer Paul Brunton in 1931, who is credited with introducing Ramana Maharishi to the West through his books A Search in Secret India 1934 and The Secret Path. Writer W. Somerset Maugham visited the ashram in 1938 and later used Ramana Maharishi as the model for the holy man. Sri Ganesha in his novel The Razor's Edge 1944. Other visitors included Swami Shivananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Alfred Sorensen, Sunyata and Y. Wu Wai. Author Osborne stayed at the ashram for 20 years and edited the ashram's journal, The Mountain Path, besides writing several books on Ramana Maharshi and his teachings. Mauni Sadhu spent several months at the ashram in 1949. David Godman came to the ashram in 1976 and has since written or edited 14 books on topics related to Sri Ramana Maharshi. He continues to live near the ashram. Niranjanananda Swami, younger brother of Ramana Maharshi, who had moved to the ashram along with his mother in 1916, stayed at the ashram for the rest of his life and handling its management. His son and grandson have looked after the ashram in turn. Ramana Maharshi, 13 December 1879 to 14 April 1950, was an Indian Hindu sage and Jiva Mukta, liberated being. He was born Venkataraman Iyer, but is mostly known by his name Sri Ramana Maharshi. He was born in Tiruchuli, Tamil Nadu. In 1895, an attraction to the sacred hill Arunachala and the 63 Nayanmars was aroused in him, and in 1896, at the age of 16, he had a death experience where he became aware of a current or force, avesam, which he recognized as his true I or self, and which he later identified with the personal god or Ishvara, that is, Lord Shiva. This resulted in a state that he later described as the state of mind of Ishvara or Jnani. 6 weeks later, he left his uncle's home in Madurai and journeyed to the holy mountain Arunachala in Thiruvannamalai, where he took on the role of a sannyasi, though not formally initiated, and remained for the rest of his life. In later years, an ashram grew up around him where visitors received Upadesha, spiritual instruction, by sitting silently in his company asking questions. Since the 1930s, the teachings have been popularized in the West, resulting in his worldwide recognition as an enlightened being. Ramana Maharishi approved a number of paths and practices but recommended self inquiry as the principal means to remove ignorance and abide in self awareness, together with bhakti, devotion, or surrender to the self. When Maharishi arrived in Tiruvannamalai, he went to the temple of Arunachaleshwara. He spent the first few weeks in the thousand pillared hall, then shifted to other spots in the temple, and eventually to the Padalalingam vault so that he could remain undisturbed. There he spent days absorbed in such deep samadhi that he was unaware of the bites of vermin and pests. Sheshadri Swamigal, a local saint, discovered him in the underground vault and tried to protect him. After about 6 weeks in the Patal vault, he was carried out and cleaned up. For the next 2 months, he stayed in the Subramanya shrine, so unaware of his body and surroundings that the food had to be placed in his mouth to keep him from starving. In February 1897, 6 months after his arrival at Tiruvannamalai, Ramana Maharishi moved to Gurumuktam, a temple about a mile away. Shortly after his arrival, a sadhu named Palani Swami went to see him. Palani Swami's first darshan left him filled with peace and bliss, and from that time on, he served Ramana Maharishi as his permanent attendant. Besides physical protection, Palaniswami would also beg for alms, cook and prepare meals for himself and Ramana Maharshi, and care for him as needed. In May 1898, Ramana Maharshi moved to the mango orchard near the Gurumuktam. Osborne wrote that during this time Ramana Maharishi completely neglected his body. He also ignored the ants which bite him incessantly. Gradually, despite Ramana Maharishi's desires for privacy, he attracted attention from visitors who admired his silence and austerities, bringing offerings and singing praises. Eventually, a bamboo fence was built to protect him. While living at Gurumurtam temple, his family discovered his whereabouts. First, his uncle Nellayappa Iyer came and pleaded with him to return home, promising that the family would not disturb his ascetic life. Ramana Maharishi sat motionless and eventually his uncle gave up. In September 1898, Ramana Maharishi moved to the Shiva temple at Pavalakundra, one of the eastern spurs of Arunachala. He refused to return even though his mother begged him. Soon after this, in February 1899, Ramana Maharishi left the foothills to live on Arunachala itself. He stayed briefly in Sadguru Cave and Guru Namashivaya Cave before taking up residence at Virupaksha Cave for next 17 years, using Mango Tree Cave during the summers, except for a 6-month period at Pachayamman Koval during the plague epidemic. Ramana Maharishi composed the 5 hymns to Arunachala, his magnus opus in devotional lyric poetry. The first hymn, Akshara Manamalai, it was composed in Tamil in response to the request of a devotee for a song to be sung while wandering in the town for alms. The martial garland tells in glowing symbolism of the love and union between the human soul and God, expressing the attitude of the soul that still aspires. In November 1948, a tiny cancerous lump was found on Ramana Maharishi's arm and was removed in February 1949 by the ashram's doctor. Soon another growth appeared and another operation was performed by an eminent surgeon in March 1949 with radium applied. By April 1950, Ramana Maharishi was too weak to go to the hall and visiting hours were limited. Visitors would file past the small room where he spent his last days to get one final glimpse. He died on 14 April 1950 at 8:47 pm. At the same time, a shooting star was seen, which impressed some of his devotees as a synchronicity. Thank you very much for watching our video. Like, share and comment, and also subscribe our channel Mixture of Content. Thank you. Bye.